Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing. And I know that that seems strange to a lot of people.
In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean.
Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing, and I know that that seems strange to a lot of people. In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. I want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean. Here's the truth no one's talking about. When the FBI, DEA and other agencies launched a massive operation inside Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, it wasn't just about routine safety checks. This wasn't some casual walk-through with boards and flashlights. No, this was a full-blown spectacle, a coordinated sweep that brought 9 units, tactical teams and an overwhelming presence of federal agents into what's already been deemed one of the most miserable detention centers in the United States. And let's be real, this sent crackdown happening in the very same facility where Diddy Combs is being held. It's no coincidence. But what exactly were they looking for, and how does it connect to the ongoing circus surrounding one of the most controversial figures in entertainment history? So yesterday, on Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday. With this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties, it was none of that, none of that stuff. Will happily, so I guess right now, but anyway, so this is his first birthday behind. Let's start with the operation itself, which felt less like a prison check and more like the kind of raid you see in blockbuster action movies. Descriptions from insiders paint a dramatic scene: agents moving information, dogs sniffing every corner, and cells being flipped upside down. The official line from authorities was of course vague: no active threat and part of routine procedures. But anyone paying attention knows there's more to the story. Reports suggest that this wasn't just about enforcing prison rules or cracking down on contraband, it was about sending a clear message. Whether that message was meant for Diddy or the broader public remains open to interpretation, but the timing is impossible to ignore. With Diddy's legal troubles dominating headlines and his name tied to a slew of allegations, the decision to storm the very facility housing him raises a lot of questions. When people got a lot of money and they got lawyers that could come up with different reasons and different information and presented to the courts, that they are able to get how many bail hearings, as long as he got different information to present to the court, different evidence. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Metropolitan Detention Center, let's set the scene. This isn't your average jail, it's a place that's been described as hell on earth, and not without reason. Overcrowded cells, rampant safety issues, and a crumbling infrastructure make it a nightmare for anyone unlucky enough to land there. The facility is notorious for its lack of basic amenities. Think about that for a second. This is a place where inmates are left to freeze during the winter because of power outages, where rats outnumber guards, and where medical care is more a rumor than a reality. It's no wonder some judges have outright refused to send defendants there, citing its barbaric conditions. And yet this is where Diddy, a man accustomed to private jets and multi-million-dollar mansions, finds himself. The irony is almost poetic. So you gotta realize, he got a lot of money. He still got a lot of money cause he paying these high-profile lawyers to take this case. So in having them to take this case, they're able to construct a lot of information together to making sure that when they go to the courts they can say, yo, your honor, listen here, this is something that's changed, this is something that's new, this is something that's different. But back to the raid. Why now? Why this level of force, and what could they possibly have hoped to find? Some speculate that the operation was tied to Diddy's high-profile case, especially given the accusations of witness tampering and other behind the scenes maneuvering. After all, this isn't just any inmate we're talking about. Diddy's name alone carries enough weight to command attention, and his alleged actions, from paying off witnesses to using other inmates' phone accounts, have only added fuel to the fire. Could the raid have been a response to these allegations, or was it simply a way for the authorities to flex their muscles and remind everyone, including Diddy, who's really in charge? And let's not forget the rumors that have been swirling about what's been happening behind those prison walls. Unconfirmed reports suggest that contraband, including sensitive documents and other restricted items, may have been found during the sweep. While authorities remain tight-lipped about the specifics, the sheer scale of the operation hints at something big. Some insiders have even speculated that the raid was meant to uncover evidence that could strengthen the government's case against Diddy. Whether that's true or not, one thing is clear: this wasn't just about maintaining order, it was about control a whole forestry of next week, because what they did was they held off whatever was the procedures was going to go down today. The judge say he to revisit this next week, so I guess I don't know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll find out what's going on, but it's going to be something that I think it may shock the world. What makes the situation even more fascinating is the stark contrast between Diddy's current reality and the life he once led. This is a man who built an empire on glit and glamour, who threw legendary parties that attracted Hollywood's elite, and who for decades seemed untouchable, but now he's just another inmate in a facility that doesn't care about fame or fortune. And while some might argue that he's getting a taste of his own medicine, others see it as a magic fall from grace. Either way, his presence at MDC Brooklyn has put an even brighter spotlight on an already infamous institution for years. MDC Brooklyn has been a symbol of everything wrong with the federal prison system. It's a place where violence is a daily occurrence, where inmates are left to fend for themselves in overcrowded conditions, and where basic human rights are routinely ignored, and yet it continues to operate, housing some of the most high-profile figures in recent history, from John Maxwell to R. Kelly to R. Kelly to R. Kelly to now Diddy. The facility has become something of a cultural touch point, a grim reminder of what happens when power and privilege collide with the justice system. Diddy is a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire if he wins this case against them. Look at all the business that he lost. Look what they made him look like in the public eye. He could bankrupt. He can bankrupt the government. But here's the thing, while Diddy's case has brought renewed attention to MDC Brooklyn, the issues at the facility go far beyond one man. Reports of systemic neglect, corruption, and abuse have plagued the jail for years, and the recent raid only underscores how deeply those problems run. Take, for example, the allegations of staff involvement and smuggling contraband. While the FBI has yet to confirm whether this played a role in the operation, it wouldn't be the first time MDC Brooklyn has faced such accusations. In fact, several staff members have been arrested in recent years for everything from accepting bribes to facilitating illegal activities. It's a pattern that seeks to a much larger issue within the Bureau of Prisons, a culture of complacency and corruption that allows these problems to fester. They know they already won their case. He's going to have to plead guilty to something. Maybe the guns, it may be the sex trafficking, it may be some stuff they found in the tax invasions, it may be charges that we don't even know about, but he's going to have to plead guilty to something which get them off the hook. And then there's the matter of the other inmates, many of whom are far less high profile than Diddy, but no less affected by the conditions at MDC Brooklyn. For them, the raid was just another reminder of the power dynamics at play. While Diddy's case may have drawn the cameras and the headlines, the reality is that life at MDC Brooklyn is just as brutal for the nameless, faceless individuals who make up the majority of its population. These are people who don't have million-dollar legal teams or the support of a global fan base. For them, the raid was less about justice and more about survival. They know they already won their case. He's going to have to plead guilty to something. Maybe the guns, it may be the trafficking, it may be some stuff they found in the tax evasions, it may be charges that we don't even know about, but he's going to have to plead guilty to something which get them off the hook. So where does this leave Diddy? For now, he remains in custody, awaiting the next chapter in what has already been a roller coaster of a legal battle. His team continues to push for bail, arguing that the conditions at MDC Brooklyn are not only inhumane but also detrimental to his ability to prepare for trial. And while the judge overseeing his case has so far been unmoved by these arguments, the ongoing scrutiny of the facility may yet work in Diddy's favor. After all, it's one thing to deny bail based on the severity of the charges, it's another to do so knowing the conditions the defendant will face while in custody. Wait a minute, say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped? Yes, there have been people already shopping. We've heard about the tapes, but the shopping thing is, yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of. As for the FBI and the other agencies involved in the raid, their work is far from over. The operation may have been a show of force, but it also raises questions about what come